Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to these messages. What is your shadow trying to teach you? My name's Lisa Lyle. This is my channel here on YouTube. Thanks so much for being here. If you're new, welcome. Please take a moment to hit that subscribe button if something here resonates with you. That is a really easy, free, and simple way that you can support content viewers such as myself here on YouTube, and I appreciate your presence here. So let's just delve right in. I received strong guidance to come and record these messages. So let's get into what the shadow would like to teach us at this time. So we all have a shadow within us, and the shadow resists down deep in our body, usually in that root and sacral chakra. And the shadow is parts of ourself that we have disowned over time with trauma or as a result of trauma. And this is the Lover's card. And so, what your shadow is trying to teach is to be your own sacred lover. The unification of the divine masculine and feminine within. Doesn't mean you have to go and change what you are. There are no mistakes. We are all children of God, children of light, and our soul resides here in our physical, within our heart space. And so this is about the understanding that within both male and female exist both male and female aspects. The right side of the body is our masculine side, the left side is our feminine and receptive side. So at this time, you are being asked to accept all aspects of yourself and to make a choice to love yourself as you are in this moment. There is nothing about you that is unworthy or undeserving of love. You are lovable, worthy, and deserving as you are here now in this moment. I'm also feeling that for some of you, this is a message about sex conduct and how you present yourself through behavior in the world. So if you're someone who is, free love, free sex, all this kind of stuff, I'm being guided to ask you to full stop that behavior at this time, because what you are actually doing is inflicting deeper wounds on your own self, your physical, emotional, spiritual self, as well. What we do to ourselves, we inflict also on the collective. So this is really a message about, perhaps you were taught that, um, sex isn't sacred, or perhaps you were never taught that your sexuality, your sexual essence, your sexual nature is not sacred. And as a result, you have conducted yourself in ways that are causing inner turmoil, inner feelings of guilt and shame and worthlessness. And that is nonsense. And you are so worthy and deserving of love, and especially your own. And so, if you're out there being promiscuous and sleeping around with every Tom, Dick, or Harry, or every Jane, Mary, and Sue, it's not really good for you. It's not good for your partners, and it's not good for the collective of humanity and restoring righteousness within the sexual conduct or the sexual context here on earth. So, divine union is what is available for all of us. Sacred union and partnership is our birthright. And as we clean up, as we take care of our own self with compassion, as we make changes compassionately, we are actually growing in our inner knowing of the sacredness of sexual connection and union with another. And it is meant to be an empowering, uplifting, and healing experience for both. And so, if you're not involved in that type of connection, there is a call for you to adjust your behavior to align with self love. This compassion card, I'm feeling that there is a need for grounding. So, through the root chakra, grounding your heart to the root chakra as your intuition opens and develops. Stop denying the truth that you know within you. Stop doing things that you know don't make you feel good. And yes, sex is natural and sex is good. And when it is done with mutual respect, understanding, love is an important factor, because just because someone wants to sleep with you doesn't mean that they love you. In fact, oftentimes lust is mistaken for love, and they are two, um, they are on the opposite spectrum of all things. This number three speaks about co creating with the divine. It also speaks about the unification of the Holy Trinity within you. So, divine mother, father, God, the masculine, the feminine, and the child. And so, we must heal the child. You must show up for yourself as the divine mother, the divine father, to support that inner child to heal, so that they're no longer conducting themselves in ways that are creating more pain. Some may not like to hear that, and yet, it is true. And if you become an observer in your life, you will begin to make these connections. And you will achieve success here on this planetary realm. Abundance is our divine birthright. None of us are here to be struggling alone. None of us are here to be struggling to survive in this material world. There isn't a wealth of abundance in this world. We are the gateway of abundance in our own experience. And so, as you clean up your act, I feel like this is really saying you are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And not only are you the pot of gold, you are the rainbow. We've got two sixes here. We've got three and then two sixes. And this is about your divine path of purpose. So, your healing, your part of your gifts to the world, one more they're asking for from this deck. Part of your gifts to the world are, in fact, your healing and your willingness and your bravery to make the changes that you're being called to make. And so that may mean for some of you at this time, letting go and releasing toxic relationships. If you're in toxic partnerships with another, the toxicity begins within yourself and your relationship with yourself. When we love and respect ourselves, when we are aware that we are a spiritual being, incarnate in human form at this time, there will be no your boundaries will be clear, and there will be no disrespect of the self or others. And so with these double sixes, I really feel that you are being called to walk that Virgo Pisces axis, take care of your home, your physical vessel, your home space, and then begin to reevaluate your relationships with others and how you are presenting to the world. Because if you're kind of presenting yourself to the world as this free, easy, nothing bothers me, your conduct is going to reflect that. And so actions actually speak louder than words. I know it's a little bit cliche, and yet it's true. So the way that we treat ourselves is a direct reflection of how we feel about ourselves. And so for some of you here, this feels very much about coming home to yourself, drawing your energy in, pulling back your energy from these situationships and relationships that aren't really loving and supportive, mutually beneficial, mutually empowering, so that you can begin to develop your relationship with yourself and you can begin to walk, set foot upon your path of healing. And for many, 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 many of the viewers here at this time, the healing all begins below your heart space. And it's particularly important for us to heal the trauma in those lower chakras, the root and the sacral chakra, which are our foundations, our creativity, our right to be here, our emotional center, all of that. It's really important that we address that. And these areas in our body are developed between birth and 14. And so for many, many people, there was trauma, there was heartache, there was pain that was experienced in those early formative years that have created, if you will, this snowball effect of either really caring for ourselves very well or not caring for ourselves at all. So only you can determine where you are in that. And it's time to break free. Your shadow wants to free you from the illusion. So many people are afraid to look in the dark spaces within, are afraid of their own shadow. And the reality is, this is the illusion, because within the shadow are great gifts. You are incredibly gifted, and you came here to Mother Earth at this time with a tremendous wealth of knowledge, a tremendous wealth of gifts, and it's time to use them. But first, you must use them on yourself. This is a 10. So 10 is, for me, this card of new beginnings. We leave the single digit numbers and we move into 10. And so move to 10. And these numbers hold the qualities of the sacred fool and the magician. So you are both of these things all rolled into one beautiful package that God created with love. And so it is time to let go of any illusion that you are not loved, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not talented, you're not gifted. Yes, you are. All of those things. Incredibly talented, incredibly worthy, incredibly gifted. And it's time that you show up for yourself, and allow the winds of change to blow through your life. Be courageous enough to take that look within, because there you will discover your greatest gifts. They have just been laying dormant under cover, under layers of pain. And then we've got I guess that is the Six of Swords. Look at that, another 6. So there's 3 6s here. So for some of you here, you may actually believe that you are evil. And what is the mirror reflection of evil? Live. Live your life. You are not evil. And we are actually here, when I see those 666s, it always says to me, we are here to flip the script. This reality that we live within has been inverted to work against the consciousness of humanity, the consciousness of God that resides within each and every one of us, the light of Christ, which we all are. We are the living light. We are the living waters of life. And so get out of your head is what I'm hearing. Not everybody is out to get you. And if you pay attention and you become an observer in your life, you will likely find that the harshest critic in your life lives inside your mind. And so it's time to release that, release those illusions, let them float away on the wind, let them blow away, and create this new space where you feel confident to make choices and decisions that support your greatest and highest good. Yes, of course you are worthy and deserving of partnership, loving, equal, and kind. And you are worthy and deserving of all the pleasures of the flesh. 2 cards want to come out here together. And we have this destiny card, the Wheel of Fortune, another 10. Another 10. Look at that. This is an opportunity for a new beginning. And it feels like for many of you, the new beginning is showing up for yourself and courageously diving into the depths of your emotional waters, your emotional body, that space between your hips, diving in there and seeing what comes up for you. And then the Knight of Pentacles comes in here and speaks about loyalty. Who are you loyal to? Who are you subservient to? Your loyalty, first and foremost, belongs with you, your heart, your physical body, your emotional state, your mental state, and your spiritual essence. Again, loss. For this is the 7 of swords, and for some of you it feels like you've lost yourself in these connections, and this is a call for you to come home. Come home to yourself. Your soul is calling. Your inner child is calling for the divine mother, the divine father that resides within you to show up for that child, to give that child the love, time, and attention that they deserve. Only you can do that for yourself. You will never find that through connection with someone else. If you're not happy, if you're not peaceful on the inside, how on earth can you feel that you would be peaceful and happy with another? We must show up for ourselves first. We must become the embodiment of the divinity that we are and treat ourselves accordingly. And when we get to that point, then we will magnetize, draw to us our divine counterpart. And divine counterparts aren't people that just want to sleep with us and have sex with us. Divine partnership is so much more than the physical aspect of the connection. The final 2 cards from these tarot decks, the Judgment. Again, 2 10s. This is a 20. And it says self-reflection. Absolutely self-reflection, because your shadow wants to teach you and show you how talented, gifted, and worthy, a worthy human being you are. The double 10s here comes to the 20, standing on your own 2 feet, that high priestess energy. Whether we're male or female, again, aspects of the masculine and feminine reside within us all. This is speaking about that high priestess that stands on her own 2 feet, comes to terms with who and what she is and what she has participated and what she has allowed to happen in her life. And I'm not talking about the stuff back there before the age of 14. I'm talking about the stuff after that, as and particularly in after the age of consent, those behaviors, those practices that you have participated in that you're judging yourself about. Remember, I had said, like, the harshest critic is within our head, and then this comes to show, yes. And don't worry about what other people think about you, because at the end of the day, most people feel very poorly about themselves anyways, and they're not overly concerned with you. This is about how you feel about yourself, not what you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself. And so perhaps that may be a journal prompt to write down and sit with, how do I feel about myself? And how do I see myself in the world? Because this is speaking loudly of self-reflection. And then we get to the sun. The sun. Mr. Sun. Sun. And if we, Mr. Golden Sun, right? And Grandmother Moon and the sun, they all work together. But the sun is the absolute happiest card in the tarot. So it's like, what are you going to do to support your inner light in shining. And I just heard the sun will shine again. Every day the sun rises, whether we see it in the sky or not. It's lovely when we do. But it still rises. And look, we have two people on this card, which is again speaking to me about divine union and partnership from within. And then um, once we are taking responsibility for our actions and that which we bring to the table and our own personal healing, then we start drawing our soul tribe in, those children of light such as ourselves, who were born for delight, who support us in growing up, if you will. Because we have a lot of adults who are still very, very childlike in behaviors, in thought processes, all kinds of stuff. And I firmly believe this is about a willingness to heal what's back there. And so many people are so afraid of what's back there that they don't even bother. And it is a worthy cause to bother and care about yourself and look back there. So your shadow wants to teach you that you are the light of the world. You are the Christ incarnate at this time, and you were born to shine. And it is the shadow. The shadow is a part of this experience. And as was previously said, the shadow is the home of our gifts. And the final message you received here is rest. I'm seeing these dolphins here, and dolphins, they're so playful, and they've been around for a long, long time, as has your soul traveled through many timelines, many lifetimes, because you are eternal with no beginning and end. And I'm feeling like the more that you rest and care for yourself, the more easily you are going to see your see your gifts grow and expand. And it's the unconditional love that you show yourself without judgment, without criticism. And when those moments of judgment and criticism pop in, becoming aware. They want one more card from here, so I'll take it. Which is it? This one. Okay. I haven't looked at it. Oh, they want both of them. Okay. The more that you show yourself love and compassion, the more you show yourself you care, the more you trust your gut, your inner knowing, the easier your gifts are going to open, the more committed you are going to become to your personal development, to your process of growing up, filling your own cup, right? Once we fill our cup, then our cup can overflow. And I always see us as like this chalice of light, and below our heart is the stem, and then above the heart is the chalice, the cup part. And once we fill up, then it starts to spill over and out into life and the people that we touch. Oh, perfect. No wonder they wanted both of these cards. Look at this. We've got the Freedom card. This is your inner mother showing up for you. And again, I would encourage you to call on God, the God of many names. The God has your name, God has my name. God is both masculine and feminine. You cannot have life without one without the other. And so this is a huge misconception, a huge, I would say, false teaching that has permeated this planet, that God is only the father. God is also the mother. And this is divine truth. And once we come to understand that, the more that we can develop and deepen our relationship with a loving creator. This card says unconditional love. Show yourself some unconditional love. Call on your angels. Call on the archangels. Call on the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, whoever it is, Jesus, our brother, Mary Magdalene, our sister. Call on all of them to come in and support this process as you gallop to freedom. Look at this. I was saying light and dark cannot exist one without the other. And here we've got it, the white horse and the dark horse, right? The white horse and the black horse. These are aspects of self. And the more that you take responsibility for your conduct, the more you are willing to make the choices that you are presented with. And not making a choice is also a choice, not a very supportive or productive one. And yet it is a choice. So you are really being called to bring your consciousness to the present moment. And so when those thoughts of judgment and criticism and shame and self-loathing and all that kind of stuff pops in to your mind, because it doesn't pop in anywhere else, it doesn't pop into the heart, it's in the mind. And when it pops in, becoming aware and use your power in that moment, because your power always resides in the present moment. And the more that you are willing to dive into the shadow, the freer you become. And as a child of God, a child of light, your sovereignty comes through and from your eternal connection to a loving creator, divine mother, father, God. So you can do it, and it is, you are being called to gallop into the darkness that resides within, and then gallop up and out to freedom, because you are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and that is what your shadow wants you to know. So I trust something here has resonated with you. Please do let me know. Give a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and thank you so much for showing up and being here now. Your presence here is a gift for which I am eternally grateful. So until next time, everyone, I see you, I feel you, I love you. Your shadow is beautiful, and I cannot wait to see the treasure that you bring up from the depths within you. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and don't forget, you were born to shine.